Welcome, Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
Rex.
We got a couple of things. This is Neil Heath. He gave us 2 bottles.
Okay.
One of them we reviewed recently, and so for that, he's Neil Heath, a benevolent bastard.
Neil Heath, you benevolent bastard.
But he also sent a Specs single barrel of Jefferson's Reserve.
Neil Heath, you magnificent bastard. Oh, single barrel. Is that why it's
Yeah.
single barrel? Okay. So it turns out we haven't done Maker's Mark. We haven't done Red Rust 12. We haven't done Lagavulin 16.
Well, and we might have done a single barrel, someone's single barrel, but I
not
don't
this.
remember it. Oh, nice little cork. That's kind
Bulbous.
of bulbous bouffant. Barrel 294, bottle 139.
It says very old.
Bottled for the bastards at Specs.
It doesn't say a number. It just says very old.
Yeah, we don't.
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, very small batch.
There's no marker on how old this is.
But very.
I do like that it's a little bit higher proof, right? So we're getting 100 instead of a lower proof.
I think I know why they did that. Because if this is the bottle for single barrels, the single barrels may not be the same.
Yeah.
So you just got to put.
I'm surprised it isn't on like the little attached sticker right here, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. So remember, these guys started by having other people distill their stuff. And then they bought out Kentucky Artisan Distillers production. And so a portion of what goes into Jefferson's they're making, and they're still contracting out with other distilleries.
Yeah.
And they're mixing those things together. So when you get a single barrel from these guys, you don't know, is it one of the Kentucky Artisan barrels? Is it one of the sourced barrels? And Pernod owns them now. And so...
Oaky walnuts honey.
Yeah. I was going to say walnuts. That's it, just walnuts. And then...
And then oaky.
yeah, and then the longer you sit there, it's damp wood, though.
And then
Honey?
honey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very simple. And it really is just that kind of base trio.
And it's not proof to the floor. Did they have to put the proof on there? What
100.
That tells me, there's 2 things that are telling me. Their single barrel program, this is a machine-like operation.
Oh, yeah.
This is the bottle. It's going to be at least old enough to be respectable. We just put very old on the glass.
Yeah.
And then all the proof, we're not going to mess with trying to find the perfect proof balancing act. It's just going to be 100.
To me, Jefferson's always has that slight waxy note.
That's the...
And I can't quite get into that.
Yeah, that's the nuttiness.
Not
So
grass.
far, I like the nose. It is some classic flavors, but they're cranked up and rich on the palate. Or I guess on the nose. We'll see what the palate is.
Oh, see, and that's... Okay,
That's beautiful.
I have this memory now, and it's reminding me of this.
Oh, it's 100 proof for this is probably just right.
You know how McAllen is our, smells the mouth, fuck.
Why
Right?
did you sound like Borat just now?
Was that Borat? I've never seen Borat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounded like Borat.
McAllen has that combination of just magical nose, and then you take a sip and you're like, oh, come on. It could have been so much more. My experience with Jefferson
It's the inverse.
is the inverse.
Wow.
Always.
Okay.
Every bottling I've ever tried, I
yeah.
smell it and I think, that's fine. It's pretty basic, pretty fundamental. No outliers, but nothing remarkable. And then I take a sip and go, that's why
really
people
nice.
like it. That's
Yeah.
really nice, actually.
I'm getting a little bit more baking spice now on the nose.
Taste is great. It's all of the desserty, cinnamony baked goods pastry section.
They definitely show up on the taste.
Yeah, this is a bakery with walnuts in the baked goods.
It's
and
walnuts in there, like that sugary syrup that they do.
so good.
A little bit of a cherry note.
That's really good.
Towards
I
the
just
finish.
wish the nose. Even going back, the nose still simplifies and flattens out.
The Reserve Single Barrel 100 proof. Hell yeah. Yeah. No, I like the hell out of that.
And you know that Thomas Jefferson made this whiskey?
Most people don't know that.
Yeah, most people don't know that. They're still haven't run out of the original stock. At some point they will, and they're going to have to rename it to the current president.
Yeah, it's surprisingly affordable.
Then it'll become Biden's Reserve.
Oh, God. So this obviously wasn't made by Thomas Jefferson. But did you know, But George Washington, he had a distillery. Did you know this?
Yeah. Thomas Jefferson hated whiskey. He thought it was like poor people.
No, he was a wine. He was a wine.
Yeah, he was a wine snob.
Which is very funny to me. That
he nonstop talks shit about whiskey people.
Wait, but why?
Slumlord.
Is it a different Jefferson's? It's the same Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Why?
They named it after the spirit of one of America's great presidents.
Should have named it after Washington because he was a distillery guy.
His James Anderson was his foreman who talked him into making whiskey instead of rum, and because they had a distillery already. Yeah. And James Anderson was Scottish. So he's like, let's make whiskey.
I'd be curious to ask people at Jefferson. It was like, what exactly was the thought process behind the branding on this?
If you look online, they literally just say, we wanted to name it after the spirit of one of America's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like kind of a marketing room getting together. And what says historical but prestigious and aspirational, and they just started naming off
random.
Yeah. Hamilton, no.
No.
Franklin, no. Jefferson. I could go for some
Jefferson. That'll work. Yeah. Someone else was like Garfield.
Polk.
Like, no.
There should be a Teddy Roosevelt needs a whiskey.
Oh, it would not be a whiskey. It would be an energy drink. That guy was crazy.
It tastes like getting shot in the chest and still finishing the speech.
Yeah, did you know he used to do through hikes? Do you know what a through hike is?
So I know he got deathly ill in one of the
that was after
safaris.
Yeah, so when he stepped down from being president the first time, he was like, if I stick around, everyone's going to keep looking to me instead of what the new president wants. And so he left the country and went into the jungles with his son and almost died.
Yeah.
His son carried him back. But he and his family used to do through hikes, which is you stand here, you point at a spot on the horizon, and you go straight to it no matter what's in your path. Period. No going around.
That combination is extremely rare. One, for somebody to be that hardcore and that much of an obvious leader that people just kind of gravitate to.
Right.
To also have the humility to be able to recognize that, hey, if I'm still in the conversation, the next guy has no shot.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to say, I'm going to have to take a step back, diminish my presence intentionally. Most people don't have those two things.
But here's the thing, he was also petty.
Well,
like the second round.
Look, he's human. He's got to have something.
The second round, there was a dude who was the front runner for the Republican Party.
Right.
I can't remember the name right now. It's leaving me, but Roosevelt hated him. Hated him. So Roosevelt ran against him.
I like that.
Just to split the Republican Party vote.
It's the Bull Moose Party.
Yeah, and the Democrat won president, and the Democrat had no shot.
Right.
Up until Roosevelt
splitting
the Republicans apart.
Yeah. So maybe humility was it. Maybe it's very specific kind of humility.
Yeah.
If I like you, then I will do whatever it takes to take care of you. If I don't like you, I will burn it all down.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
All right.
They carried that big stick, I guess.
This is, you know what this is for me? This is that very rare combination of something that there's enough going on. It's interesting enough for me to go exploring.
But only on the taste for me.
But on the taste, yes. It's interesting enough to be considered exploring whiskey. But also, it's not demanding my attention to where it can't just be a nice, easy background whiskey.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like hanging out at a random bar and like, I'll take a Jefferson's. That'll be fine. While we're talking.
Eric Chambers 9914, you guys need to put up a light fixture outside the door with the red bulb, but when flipped on indicates filming in progress.
Yeah, we needed that bulb on like every building on the whole property.
Yeah, I kind of like the interruptions.
You're kind of like in the middle of like, oh, hey, James.
Yeah, it's a fun moment. You yell at him like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't know.
Here's what I like about it, is it does remind people that this is a working property, not a film set.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I mean, on camera, it's like, how dare you? How could you do this? But it's fun. It mixes it up. It keeps it spontaneous. Bene Shannon.
Oh.
About the sons of Aaron whiskey.
Yeah, you're about to recognize. Where did I put that one? It was not an American malt.
It was finished in Calvados casks.
That's apple brandy.
That fruit is green apple.
Yeah.
So did we say Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So that's this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the distiller.
Oh, the distiller. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So we picked up that green apple Jolly Rancher, no, because it was finished in that green apple brandy.
Well, not green apple, but
Just an
Calvinist
apple
is
brandy?
An apple brandy.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm finally relieved that we got to hear from the maker, and we hadn't just shit all over their whiskey. Because every time we rave about a craft, they never hear,
Right.
they never find us. They
Right.
don't know who we are. Yeah.
Right.
And every time we shit on it, they're like, "I've been
Hello."
a fan for years."
Right. Yeah, you know what it is? I think human beings, it's just a weird thing about people. They're much more likely to go and run and tell somebody, "Did you hear this bad thing somebody said?"
Yeah.
Than if somebody said something nice.
And
They're
someone
not
said
going
they like your whiskey.
They're not going to mention that.
Nah.
For every one time they say, like, "Hey, by the way, somebody said something nice about your whiskey."
Yeah.
For one time they'll do that. There's going to be 20 people that run and tell them to somebody.
Did you know, was there a quote that said, "It takes two people to wound me, one person to say the thing, and a friend to bring me the news"?
That's true. Yeah. All right. Hell yeah. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, fight for a friend.
Steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And
If you drink,
holy shit.
wow. If you drink,
If you drink,
may you drink with
what
us.
happened?